Hi guys, welcome back to the James Bond Show. I'm your host, Krazy Kajeevie, the bad boy of James Bond, with another Dissecting the Directing. And this one is from Octopussy. And thanks to Fred Milleron, who's a friend of mine and also a subscriber to the James Bond Show. Fred has been banging on for months and months and months for me to do the auction scene in Octopussy where James Bond, along with Jim Fanning, they go along to an auction and they're basically checking out who's going to buy the Faberge Egg. The scene, the film, is directed by John Glenn, and I believe from memory the editor was John Grover. Now, I'm going to say this up front about this scene. I'll be really honest. When Fred asked me to dissect this scene, I was kind of like, and then he asked me again, and I was like, So, I checked it out yesterday, and I put it on and I watched it. And I was absolutely hooked. Now, of course, I've seen this scene so many times before. However, in the eye of a director, and coming from dissecting the directing for this segment, I looked at it in a whole new way. And I have to say, stick with us here, because this scene that I'm about to dissect is an absolute masterclass, not only in editing, shot composition, but direction. Everything pulls together in this scene. It is absolutely flawless, to the point I don't think I could improve it with my ideas. It is flawless in every way. Now, this isn't the big Living Daylights PTS. This isn't Bond in The Spy Who Loved Me jumping off the cliff. This isn't the GoldenEye Dam jump. It's not even the introduction of James Bond in Dr. No. It's an auction scene. But it's so bloody good because of the way this has been made by a phenomenal filmmaker that spent so much of his early career as an editor. And this shows, because he has directed this to a T. John Glenn, if you're out there and you ever watch this, you are a master. This is stunning. Okay, guys, let's get right into it. Let's have a look. Now, I've started off here in this scene with General Orlov, one of the twins, and the forgery expert. The reason I've started off here is because we don't, once we come out of this shot, we don't get a transition shot of Sotheby's of the auction room. But what we got previously was a scene with Bond and M saying that Bond would go and meet Jim Fanning, the art expert, and go along to the auction. So we know he's going to the auction. But John Glenn and his set design team, they set things up interestingly anyway. Don't want to do that. Okay, guys, let's go.
We can reach them in time.
So straight away, see, we've got Sotheby's up there. We know we're at an auction, okay? Beautiful wide angle shot. These guys, I think, are auditioning for Friar Tuck in the next Robin Hood film. This is classic 80s. We've got the chandeliers, so this is showing opulence, and it's an opulent auction. And of course, Sotheby's is known for being quite an opulent auction. So, wide angle shot, we see James Bond over here, we see Jim Fanning. Now, what I want you to do, from a direction point of view, what I want you guys to do is keep an eye, from this wide angle shot, keep an eye on the gentleman here that's holding the Faberge egg on the little pillow thing. You're going to see extras walk across frame here, but watch this guy and his movement, and how director John Glenn and his editor John Grover cut around this beautifully. Watch this. So you got the wide angle, extras start moving, so it's showing that the auction's about to get going.
Slot is number 48.
Now watch this man.
A superb green gold imperial.
So he's moving, and as John Glenn cuts into this angle, so obviously close up on the auctioneer, and we'll call him the presenter, he just moves beautifully. This is class editing and class direction. We see him moving in the wide, and just as he comes here, it's cut beautifully into this shot. Now, there's something I'm going to talk about towards the end of this, about close-ups, and I hope I don't forget, but I'm going to talk about close-ups very specifically at the end of this for a reason. You'll see why.
Easter egg by Faberge Egg. Enamel.
So now, what I think would have happened is most of that probably would have been shot in the previous master shot we had, the big wide-angle master shot. And I believe John Glenn probably would have filmed all of this also in a master shot, especially with the presenter going around it and showing the egg. And again, the production design is beautiful. The lighting is just absolutely gorgeous here. Just moderate kind of lighting, nice. There's a bit of warmth there. There's a opulence of luxury, like I said before. This is fantastic. Now, if you didn't know, obviously colours have different, they represent different moods and feelings. Now, apparently green is the colour of genius, of thinkers. So it's very interesting that green is in here, and obviously there's a kind of off green on the walls as well. We've got the lady here in green. She's the only one in green, but green is a sign of intelligence and thoughtfulness. So I just find that fascinating that it's being used here.
In translucent green, enclosed by gold laurel leaf, set with blue sapphires and 4-petaled gold.
Now I think she's off the set of Charlie's Angels.
Good guy.
How much should it fetch? 250, 300,000 pounds.
So basically, guys, this is again John Glenn coming from the old school. I'm not going to stress about this too much because I'm going to get to the point later, but there's no close-up here, okay? This is basically just a medium shot. It's not even really, you could call it a two-shot. We've got the two main actors here of the scene in the frame, other than Kamal Khan, obviously, who's a main actor later. But these guys are like, it's really a medium-wide two-shot on them, which I love. It's allowing the scene to breathe. It's allowing their performance to breathe. Now, in this video, I'm going to talk a lot about performance and the specifics of performance and performance to camera.
Getting a little bit crazy.
By Tsarnikovs in 1897 in Moscow. Property of a lady.
Well, there are quite a few ladies here.
Now, the casting of this gentleman as Jim Fanning, this guy is brilliant. I love the fact, now, I don't know if this is done on purpose or whatever, but it's just something I draw because I read so much into film and characters, etc. There's no wedding ring here. He's got a ring here. There's no wedding ring. This is the type of guy that would devote his entire life to his art, to what he does, and he probably doesn't even have time for a wife.
She wouldn't have to be here in person, you know. She would always be represented by proxy.
I'll start it at 150,000 pounds. 150. 60. 170. 170. 108.
Now, if you look at the camera angle, so it's slightly raised above Roger Moore just before there. I'll just go back slightly.
170.
So just as she's coming in, so we see Magda coming in,
170.
played by the beautiful Christina Wayborn. Now, we're on this angle, we're slightly raised on Roger Moore, just enough for him to raise the old eyebrow here in a second. His eyes now see her. And of course, then when John Glenn cuts to her, the angle is slightly raised because it's his view looking up.
108.
You see, so there's a slight raise there.
190. 200. Yes, you, madam. Any more?
Now, there is a lady.
220,000 pounds. 240.
James, stick to the business in hand.
Now, what I love here, guys, as far as the costume design, which is something I don't talk a lot about, this guy, he is dressed. Kamal Khan, played by Louise Jordan, Jordan, he's a French actor. This is how you would expect an Indian James Bond to dress. He is dressed so classy. I love how they've dressed him, and of course, she's just in pure luxury. She looks stunning, the hair and everything. This is fantastic, but the people around him, these gentlemen here, he blows them away. So you know straight away the director's telling you this is a man of style and class, and this from memory is the first time we see him. So it's so important for this guy to make such an impression, especially when we don't hear him talking. So within this style, the cut of the suit, the whole lot, this is making a great impression.
£160,000, 280, £300,000, and 20.
And you see Bond over here and Jim Fanning, and they're looking over, again, beautiful wide angle, just letting things play out here. Roger Moore's performance is absolutely on point. Even when he's not talking, if you just look at his eyes, the way he's scanning the room and looking at things, and you can see he's thinking, his performance here is so, I think it's underrated. It's fantastic without being over the top. It's perfect. It's natural.
Are you bidding, sir? £320,000, new bidder.
Now, what I love about that too is there was no reason to chuck in a hasty bid there, but Kamal Khan did it. So that's again establishing he's here because he means business.
You know, Kamal Khan.
And he's bidding again.
Marginal quantities from dubious sources.
£380,000, 400.
And what I love there, when Kamal Khan's bidding, have a look at him. What do you notice that Kamal Khan's doing? So have a look on his last couple of bids, guys.
£320,000, new bidder.
Now watch Kamal Khan.
Interesting. You know, Kamal Khan. Usually a seller.
36.
Marginal quantities from dubious sources.
£380,000, 407.
Well, that should do it.
Any more?
Kamal has gone over the top.
What I've noticed here is Kamal Khan, he's so up himself, he's so full himself, he looks kind of bored like he's there, but what I love, he doesn't look at the other bidders. He doesn't care about them. So what's that telling you? This is not a guy that the director, John Glenn, is setting up with the actor Louis Jourdan. This is not a guy that's short of a buck. And it doesn't matter what happens, who bids, who chucks what at this egg. He's walking out with it. That's what that's saying. So he's just like this. Because he doesn't have to look, look at the competition, what's he wearing? Oh, he can't afford this. She's not gonna go that high. He doesn't care. So again, the director, and through the subtleties of this performance and how they block all this out and rehearse it, they've turned up on the day saying, okay, he's not going to look at the opposition because he doesn't care about them. He's the man. And it's those things that go on behind the scene that finish in the final product of the film that a lot of us don't realise.
Your bids are 400,000. 400,000. Any more?
Now this angle here, this shot, okay, so we've got Jim mainly centre right here of frame. Now you could say, why is all this frame open? Okay, why has he got this frame open? I'll tell you why he's got this frame open. He's got this frame open even though the camera, even though Jim is right here, and if you notice the difference, like I did the Dissecting the Directing video with Lee Tamahori's Die Another Day when Bond meets Jinx. Have a look at this, guys. You've got his chin, and you got that much below from the screen to show, right? And you're showing the top of his head. It's not a ridiculous, horrible close-up. That's enough. That says everything. But why has he got the frame open here? He's got the frame open because Jim's not the focus, right? Jim's the secondary focus. The focus is what's going on over there. And John Glenn needs that frame open to show you that Jim's thoughts are really going on over there. Now, why is the director cleverly taking you over there? Because he's not preparing Jim or the audience for what Bond is about to do.
425. You bid.
Now, of course, with this frame open up, what is it allowed to do? 425 new bidder. The camera will just pan along here. And surprise, surprise, who does it go to?
Thank you.
Now, notice there's no cut straight to Bond. It's a beautiful pan across. Basically, I believe that's on tracking here. and they've just moved the dolly tracking back. That's how I think they've done that. So it's not so much just a pan, but it's a track backwards. Look at that. That's a track.
425.
Have you gone?
And now we're in a medium close-up of Bond because the focus is on him and what he's done.
Bad. Let's see how badly he wants it.
A 450.
And then Jim immediately looks back at Kamal. So it's setting up the tension back and forth. This is just masterful. And now finally, what do you guys notice? Oh no, I'm getting very excited about this because it brings out the filmmaker in me. For the first time, remember how I said to you guys before, that Kamal Khan was not looking at any of the bidders. Watch his eyes. I'm going to go back a second. For the first time, he looks at Arrival. Watch his eyes.
A 450.
Now, see? He's looking at Bond, looks away.
450. 475. The bid is 450.
Now the frame's still open again, right? These are the good guys, frames open for the competition.
475.
So even though Kamal Khan's not in frame, it's a reminder of this is all open. They're in war here. That's what this is about. Notice we've got them nicely. Why do you need to do that? Because you need to do it because an intelligent director shows you it's not just about them. Where Lee Tamahori would probably be close up on these guys. No. See the action, show the competition over there in your mind.
Against you, sir.
Now, guys, if you look at that, you've probably all looked at this 1,000 times. Bond did not switch that. Obviously, he goes with the line later on. He switched it, and we believe he switched it. And yeah, within the film, he switched it. But you look at Roger Moore's hand, you see it the entire time. This is, if I had to pick out a gripe, this is the only gripe. This is where I probably would have done a cut or a slight pan around or something to completely have that hand disappear from us or have the hand drop lower towards the lap, because if you look at it clearly, he never takes that egg out of his hand. It's the same egg. Not even Houdini could switch that egg. So watch this. I'll do it frame by frame. See? It's still in his hand.
Yes.
Still in his hand. You can still see the top of the egg. You can still see the egg just there. There's no movement of the hand.
Sir.
Up, straight up. There's no switching.
No more than 450.
But hey, that's film magic. Now, what I love here, this actor, I don't know how many actors they auditioned, but the actor here playing Jim Fanning, he's shitting himself. You can almost see smoke coming out of his ears. And Moore is playing this so calm. It's like in a playful way. He's not overly being playful, but because he's so laconic, it comes across that way.
Jim? The bid is 450,000.
Jim doesn't even want to look at it. So this is where direction, performance, and the right casting come together to give something that's such a treat. And I love the way Bond's like, yep, I'm bidding on this.
I have 4.
And then they go to a medium close-up on Jim and back to the auctioneer, confirming Bond's bid.
475.
I love the way Jim looks over. He's now not looking across. So Louis Jordan, Kamal Khan, he's not even looking across. He's just looking down like, this guy's just pissing me off. I'm walking out of here with it anyway, but this guy's costing me money. And now it's like, no, I'm not looking at you, mate. And he puts the hand up again.
500,000 pounds. 500,000 pounds.
Now, getting the audience involved like that what happens on a film set like this, it's mainly your assistant director, and if you've got a second AD there, they'll talk to the extras and they'll amp them up and they'll go on this point of the line, then you act up and you're all shocked and surprised. So that's what happens there on a film set, and I love the way they're all involved now.
I have
And Jim needs a pacemaker. If this man's got a pacemaker, he could be in trouble, or else he's going to need one.
£1 million. All done? Any more?
I love the way the auction. Any more?
Yours, sir.
Back to the wide angle shot. Beautiful. Have a look at Jim. Jim's still looking over towards, there is Kamal Khan over there. Bond's not. Bond's looking down. Bond knows what he's done. He's a guilty little rabbit. He knows he's got the egg.
£500,000.
Now, look at that little glare. It's only the second time Kamal Khan looks at Bond. So it's the second time he looks at him. Have a look at the glare he gives him.
Your sir, £500,000. The next closest number.
Could have been stuck.
And Bond doesn't take his eyes off Kamal Khan. This is fantastic direction and fantastic, wonderful performances.
I doubt it. He had the buy. Hey, that's what I intend to find out.
I'm going to let this play a little bit here, guys. So she looks back, and now even Govinda, the villain, looks at him, and you can see Kamal Khan still looking at Bond, thinking this is a thorn in my side. And he just stares right at him as he walks past. Well, guys, that's been my dissecting the directing for the auction scene with Octopussy. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you liked it. Sorry I'm not closer to the TV or closer angle. Hopefully that was enough for you guys and you know the scene pretty well. And let me know in the comments below what you think of this scene. What you think of the dissecting of it. Did you learn anything? Was there something I missed out that you can tell me about that you think I might have missed? And also, most importantly, guys, please support not only this channel, but this segment by dropping a like on it. It's really important to me, and let me know in the comments below what scene you'd like me to dissect next. I can tell you though, the next one coming up will be, finally, a George Lazenby scene from On Her Majesty's Secret Service. That's going to come up next. Till next time, guys, keep on bonding, say hi to your mum for me, and break the taxi! And subscribe!